Welcome to the Perfect Blend podcast.
My name is Sara.
And my name is Shenelle. We'll be serving you the perfect blend of beauty, skincare, overall wellness ideas, and discussion. We'll just sit back, relax, and talk shit about life, just like girlfriends should. Now let's get back to it.
Everyone was making fun of all the celebrities, like, oh, you guys have to spend time with your kids. Like, what about the rest of us? Like, we've all been spending time with our kids. But I think it's that, parents, they spend time with their kids. They're with their kids 100% of the time, almost, or at least 100% of the time in their earlier years, like when they're, a baby up until they're able to go to daycare, right? Then they have some time away, either on their commute for themselves, or in the morning for themselves. But now they're around their kids all day. Plus they work from home. So it's like work and your kids are all mixed into one. Then you got to figure out dinner, you got to figure out homeschooling for your kids, right? You got to get them on the computer, logged on, make sure that they're paying attention. Mm-hmm. And if they're younger, you have to also help them with the work. So much, it's a lot for people to be dealing with at this time, especially, with it being colder outside. Statistically, people tend to be sadder during the cold months and miss people and all of that. Mm-hmm. So in combination with being restricted and being told you can't go outside, that's going to take a big toll on a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And that's why a lot of people are revolting and wanting to go outside and saying, well, I'm not doing this. I want to go outside, but I'm keeping my ass home because I don't want to get myself sick. I don't want to get anyone else sick, but there are people who don't give a fuck or don't care.
You know what I
can understand.
I want to mention this just because I thought it was an interesting thought. Me and Mark have been talking literally day in and day out about these things because it's just on my brain, right? Like you can't, right now we're living through it, so you can't really escape it, right? Yeah. But I was thinking, imagine, okay, being a teenager or being a young adult and having to stay at home and be close to your parents and have them literally beside you every single day. And it's like, when I was a teenager and when I was a young adult, I literally moved 6 hours away from my parents in order to have my independence and to be a young adult. Do you know what I mean? A young person, and to experience life and to meet new people and all of these things, right? And right. I feel so terrible for teenagers and young adults because I'm like, imagine what they're going through, in terms of their mental state, what they're going through. It's like, I don't know, props to you because I don't know how, another question that comes to mind is okay, these are the effects of COVID, right? These are the effects that people are going to have in terms of their mental health, in terms of their mental well-being, where they are in life, their mindset.
Right.
What are the effects going to be in, say, 2 years, 3 years, once COVID is done, God willing? How are they going to react? What are going to be the side effects of COVID-19 mentally is my question. I'm curious.
I mean,
I feel like people are not going to know how to socialize.
Yeah.
So they're not going to know how to socialize well. People won't be able to socialize well. Social cues will be lost.
I agree.
And what you were talking about with young kids and teens, I was just saying that I was just talking about this with somebody else. Mm-hmm. Prom's not happening.
Yeah.
I loved prom. I had a great time at my prom. I highly recommend prom. It was a great night. It was a great weekend. So many kids are not going to get to do that. Yeah. All of them. What am I saying? All of them cannot have prom.
Yeah. No one's going to have prom. There was a picture of a girl on Instagram, and she was like, since I wasn't able to wear my prom dress this year for prom, I'm just going to take a bunch of pictures in my prom dress. And she went out and took pictures in front of nice places and took a bunch of pictures in front of all of that stuff. And I was thinking about that too, because, we're already living in a world where people don't approach other people on the street, right? Like before, when you were younger, to make friends, or before technology got so advanced, to make friends, you would have to go and talk to somebody, right? You would have to approach someone and talk to someone and, you know, engage with them in that way. Now we have social media, so there is no necessity to talk to people in person.
Yeah.
And then with all of these restrictions and everyone having to stay home and be so distanced from one another, it's going to make it more, you know, it's going to make it more difficult for people to be in social settings where they are not familiar with a lot of people and, you know, get along or actually have a good time, right? Not everybody is a social butterfly and can make friends and talk to a bunch of random people that they didn't know before. A lot of people, that makes them anxious. So I can see it just getting people being more closed off and more reluctant to have those kinds of relationships or start those kinds of relationships without having that barrier of social media or like a screen to kind of protect them.
You want to know something though, in terms of devil's advocate for a second? I feel like people that are social butterflies though, for instance, like myself.
Yeah.
Or even like other people that are just so frustrated with being inside all the time that they're going to just literally burst at the seams when we're able to finally socialize again. That's my theory. I feel
like the social people will be like, yes, we're outside. Like, hey guys, what's up? And then the other people will be like, what's wrong with this bitch? The fuck is her problem?
Do you think?
What is all of this?
It's funny you say that because I like literally just before this, I was sitting here thinking like, you know where I wish I was? Out with people I don't want to hang out with. I would rather be out with people I don't want to hang out with than be at home right now. Like
that's exactly.
That's where I'm at in life. Like, you won't catch me somewhere if I don't want to be there, but I would go anywhere.
Anywhere.
You can invite me to your baby shower. I don't know you or your baby. I'm coming. I'm coming.
That's what I was saying.
Explore. Yes, people want to explore.
Yeah.
People want to.
I was just like, as soon as outside opens up, I'm going everywhere.
Invite me, I'm coming.
Right.
Or don't invite me, I'm coming.
Right. I see you there. I was thinking about going there. I know somebody there now. I'm coming.
Yes. And I feel like that's what's going to happen.
That's really going to happen.
Yeah. And I feel like people are going to go ape shit. People are going to be like, oh my God.
We're going to be at everything.
But that's the thing that's scary too a little bit, because it's like, okay, people want to go out and people want to have fun. I'm sure people are going to be like, I am losing all of my inhibitions. I'm literally going to be on drugs, on and that, going to be promiscuous, going to be all of these things, right?
All the things that I can intake and put into my body or do to my body, I'm doing it. That's what they're going to do.
You guys remember YOLO?
Yeah.
Yes.
YOLO's making a comeback.
It's hard because like
2025, because that's
I was saying to myself, like, if you can never, I was just saying to myself, like, so many people are losing out on the golden years, like you're missing out on your teen years, doing all the stupid shit, you know, sneaking out, going out with your friends, staying out late.
Yeah.
Whenever outside opens back up and you're 3-4 years older, because 2021 is a write-off. I don't believe in it. I don't believe we're gonna be anywhere better. I have that feeling
too, Keisha. I have that feeling too. Unfortunately.
I'm like, 2022, please be it. Like, just let that one be the one. But it might be 3-4 years down the line when we're able to live kind of normally, or what we used to think was normal.
Yeah.
Like, the YOLOing is gonna go hard, or it's going to get to a point where people break, and I think that's kind of what's going on, you know, anti-masker protests and people just doing whatever they want.
Yeah.
People are losing out on precious time of their life, not being able to do the things that they want. It's going to explode. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's gonna be a ticking time bomb. And to be honest with you, I really don't think that it's a matter of when the government decides. I think it's a matter of when the people decide. Because when the people, when the
people are like, no, you guys told us to stay inside, we did. Nothing changed. You guys let us go outside, but restricted. Y'all ain't changed nothing. So you guys are telling me to stay inside again? Just like, Guess it what? Didn't work the other 2 times. I'm going outside. Like, I'm going outside. If I get it, I get it. Like, that's how people are gonna be thinking. And like, I don't agree with it. Like, knowing me, I'll want to participate so bad, and I'll be like, but I gotta stay inside though. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I don't want to be that one. I don't want to be one of the people who go out and it turns into a super spreader event and everybody that went got it, and I'm sitting there like boo boo the fool spreading it to my whole family. No, I would love to go, but send me some pictures, live stream it. I'll be there in spirits. I will watch from afar. I will be jealous, but guess what? I will be safe. Okay, Summer Walker has some like crazy ideas. She really does, but she did say,
isn't that a singer? Like, isn't that an artist?
Yeah, she's a singer, but she's a little woo-woo, like she's little like you know, like witchcraft, like
Loki. Oh my god, Kate, pause. Did you hear what Azealia Banks did yesterday?
What was it, her cat?
She freaking dug up her cat.
Yes, and ate it.
Why? Brujeria. She's a witch.
I tried to find it. I went to her Instagram. I looked.
She's on Instagram. I'm like, I don't want to see nobody eating no damn cat, okay?
She didn't keep it up. I found it somewhere else.
Twitter.
Maybe.
It's crazy. Like, if you believe in witchcraft, do your thing, girl. Do it. Do it. But you're gonna eat a cat you buried months ago? You're gonna, first of all, you're gonna eat a cat?
Ugh. God.
Honestly,
it's not Mad Max times yet. It's not Mad Max times
yet. She legit feels like this is the apocalypse. Like, she's like the devil is coming back. Some shit like this. Like,
that's what she said, and she ate the cat?
Some shit. Because she was like, oh, it's so fitting because the cat's name was Lucifer. So it's like, who?
I would name my cat. If I got another cat, I would name it Lucifer.
You would?
Just because I like the name. I like the name.
I do like the name.
I would name a child that. No.
It's because you're Leos. I just want to point that out. Well, you like the name because you're Leo.
No, not only
what
that.
What does that even mean?
But it's
within your character.
It's the meaning of the word is of light. Lucifer, like Luz in Latin
means the light bringer.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a light bringer. Name. It really is, but it's just like unfortunate.
It's just
the devil's name.
Yeah, that it exactly.
It's just like Hitler. Nobody's gonna name their kid Hitler.
Hitler? Oh hell, maybe. You never know. Germany may have a few little Hitlers running around. You never know.
You never know.
Maybe. But all I wanted to say was, if it is end of days, I need Azealia Banks to stop doing the splits. Because if it's end of days, that's the last thing you should be doing or being concerned with. Get up off the floor. Bitch, get up off the floor.
She was doing the splits too?
Yes. You have to go check her out now.
I didn't see none of that shit.
She's so
Bro, I seen absolutely none of it. None of it.
When I tell you it was wild, I closed my phone and was just like, that was the end of my lunch break, and I could have gone the rest of my life without seeing that.
Seriously, same here.
Now I want to see it. I seen it come up on my Instagram feed, and it was like Azealia Banks on the internet eating her cat, cooking up her cat, and I was like, that's something I do not need to see. And I scrolled on past, and I was like, I'm not looking for it. Then I forgot about it till just now. That was yesterday.
That was yesterday. Wait, so
big pot.
Yeah, it was a big pot.
With black water fern bones. Like, it was the liquid in there was black, and then there was like, it had to have been fur because it had to have been fur. And then she was stirring it up, and you could see bones, and they were clean. Like, my girl stewed that shit down. She made cat chowder. Like, I'm forever changed.
So disturbing.
Forever.
I'll forever change.
See the actual thing. I'm glad that I didn't.
That was the first thing I saw.
Oh my God.
Was the pot. Forever changed.
The pot she had separately though, no? Wasn't it pink? There was another pot that I saw that was pink, and she had bones in it and like champagne, and she was like, she's just something else, man. She's something else. But what were you
cut it off.
About Summer Walker? Is she also a bruja? She's a witch?
Well, she's not like a witch. She's like one of those like spiritual witches. So she still believes in God and stuff, but she like does her crystals and like her sage and all of that.
But
that's the kind of witch she is. She doesn't do like spells and like, I'm going to hex this person. I'm going to eat my cat because it's going to bring me, you know, some wellness and some enlightenment. Like, no, she just likes her crystals.
Does she do tarot cards in this? Like those types of things?
I don't know if she does tarot cards. I haven't. No, actually, she does. It's
all tied in together.
Yeah,
I have some witch friends,
but I don't think that that's witchcraft. To be honest with you, like I think that's just a spiritual person, like that you like to be.
That's what they prefer to call themselves.
It's considered witchcraft because anything that isn't like a specific religion that you're practicing is considered by society as witchcraft. So that's why they consider themselves witches. But it's not necessarily that they're doing like evil things or
like they do cast spells.
Banks was doing.
I knew someone that was a witch. She owned a bar in Toronto that sold witch supplies, like
potions and stuff.
Yeah. So
I would like to go.
It's closed down, unfortunately. She closed it. Yeah, but it was really cool. I went on Halloween one year. She did it was like a, I guess,
like a seance.
No, it was.
I wasn't going if it was a seance.
Yeah, it was.
Don't bring that in.
Cool. It was really cool. I'm very curious and I'm very open-minded when it comes to these things, and like I've known her since high school, so I'm like, I don't see any potential threat. I don't see it as like evil thing. No. Like for me, I was just like, oh, let me go support, you know, my girl, and I want to see what she can offer, like what she does, you know, like, and for me, if you have good intentions, if you're a good person, and if you decide you want to praise Satan, go for it. I don't judge people, honestly. I don't. My cousin,
want to go praise Satan?
It's interesting because my cousin, so like you guys know, I'm half French Canadian, half Colombian, right? But my French Canadian cousin in New Brunswick, she lived in Quebec and now she's in New Brunswick again, but she's like super into like metal, and she's super into like the devil, and like just like she's into that stuff, right? And for me, in my culture of being Colombian, it's super anti, like you should not do that. But
no,
like, I'm like,
oh no,
for me, no. Who cares? If you are living your best life and you want to live your life and you want to praise Satan, then praise Satan. Like,
right.
There's no. The thing I feel like is people have so much to say and so much to judge when it comes to religion, but or like things that they believe in, and it's like, what makes your religion any better than theirs? Do you know what I mean? Like what makes you a good person versus them a bad person? It's so subjective, right?
Right.
So I try and like be open-minded, because why? She's my family at the end of the day, right? I'm not gonna abandon her just because she believes in something else, you know? Shout out to Stan if you watch this.
Yeah, I agree with that. I hear that, because like it's like with the whole friend. I've always had people tell me, you know, like, why are you friends with this person? Does that means you're a hoe too? No, it doesn't.
Doesn't mean that, but a lot of people assume that you're a hoe because your friend's a hoe.
Assume what you want. Believe what you want. You don't have a heaven or hell to put me in. So judge away. Judge away. Right. Do your thing. But like My whole friends have been some of the best friends I've had. Like, they've been the most downest, realest bitches I've ever known in my life.
My whole friends weren't, and I'm no longer friends with those hoes. But they were in my life for a period of time that I kind of needed at the time because, you know, I learned a lot of things. I learned, number one, I'm not a hoe. I learned, you know, I seen everything they were doing and I'm like,
But okay,
not for me.
I'm just going to say this. Hoes can reform.
Yes.
I agree.
That's 100%.
If you're not that friend, everyone has a reformed hoe friend. Whether it was like they were a big hoe and everybody knew, or there was a quiet hoe and just the football team knew.
Listen,
you know what I mean?
the football team, if it's the whole football team or 1% of the football team, everybody else knows too, because
guys
boys talk all of the things, okay? They're the reason why 90% of the rumors in your high school started was because of them. They started that shit. They started rumors. They started lies. They're like, "Oh, yo, I see you with that girl, yo, you sexing her or what?" And then you're like, because you don't wanna feel some type of way. Like the man doesn't want to feel some type of way, so he's like, "Yeah, yo,
yes,
I got that, yo. That's my thing, yo." So now they're like, "Oh yeah," so they go and they start telling their friends.
Yes.
And they tell all of the friend them, and then your name spread around school like you're a hoe, and you really didn't even do nothing.
I'm just gonna say
sometimes
this.
It's not even true. Like sometimes these
90% of the time it's not.
And they're like, "Oh yeah, I hit that," and it's like, bitch, in what lifetime? Lifetime? And it's like, really? But then at the end of the day, then all of their friends are gonna listen to this lie and believe it, and they're like, "Oh, that girl's a hoe. Oh, that girl's a this and that." Yeah. And it's like,
I was so out of loop in high school when people would tell me, when I would find out about like someone being a hoe, it was like, that was last year though. It's like, oh, okay. I was mad out of the loop. I didn't know people were a hoe unless they told me, or word got to me last. I sort of got to be the last person to hear shit.
What happened to me a lot was I got roped in to the whole activities, and then I was there and I was like, this is not what I wanted.
Hey, can you explain what you mean by that, Shenelle?
I thought we were gonna play like Monopoly, like niggas is fucking.
What do you mean? They asked you to play Monopoly and then you were in a
so they were all like it was one day like after exam time in the summer, and they were like, "Oh, yo, we're gonna go hang out at this person's house," and like we're teenagers, and I was not in that mindset. So I was like, "Oh, we're gonna go there. We're gonna bust some jokes. Like that's what's gonna happen. We're probably gonna play like a game like Manhunt or something." And then we're all gonna go home. I was like 16.
Sarah heard Manhunt. It's like we 13 or 12. Like I just want to know.
I'm like, listen, Manhunt. We used to play Manhunt, bro. Halloween as teenagers, we would play Manhunt.
I never liked that game.
I liked it. It was.
I liked it a lot, but I played when I was 12. That's why I'm like, what?
No, like
I don't like being chased.
We did those things.
I like it.
Well, at least me and my friends did those things. But so we went to this person's house, and I'm like, okay, like we're all gonna sit like and chill and like talk and like maybe watch a movie or something. No, people start partnering off and go and play. I'm like,
oh,
wait a minute. Shit. Nobody told me. And then I was also mad at my friend because I was like, why would you bring me to your whole activity? Like, why would you do that to me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And after that, I never went anywhere with them after exam day, because exam day is half day, right? And after that, I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm cool. See, I'm good.
That's funny. That is funny.
Yeah.
And that's like, honestly,
nice little brief story.
Your friends, like, I'm sorry, they should have said something to you. Like,
they should have told me. But you know what? I should have known better, because two of the girls were like, they got around at the time, but those girls were my friends, and like I liked them. Like outside of all of the rumors that we heard, they were cool people to hang out with. So I wasn't upset. Like, I wasn't like expecting that, but I should have known better. Hindsight's 2020.
Hell yeah.
I wouldn't be doing none of that. But
it's so true.
I learned.
So true.
That's the funny ass thing that you just said, because hindsight is 2020. Having lived 2020, hindsight is 2020. I wish I knew about that in 2019. I would have did some different shit.
Yeah.
But did some different shit in 2019, 18, pretty much 16 through 19. I would have did some different shit.
So let's get into the episode a little bit here.
Let's do it.
So
we've been literally on like
for a couple of minutes here, but since this is our New Year episode, let's talk about like some reflections on 2020. So reflections, like things that happened in 2020 that you would like this year, maybe you don't want to continue on with like that, or maybe there's things that you didn't do last year that you want to do. Like, so for me, I'll start. For me,
sure.
Last year, I had plans because the year before I was injured. I had an injury. As y'all know, I went skiing, trying to do some white people shit and mosh up myself. And so 2020, peace, quiche. But anyways, so 2020 was my year to be more healthy and get back into the gym and lose some weight. And then everything shut down literally in March. Yeah. So when the shutdown happened, so the Friday
2020, I remember the day.
So the Friday, I went out for drinks with a couple of girls that I worked with, my friends, and we had a ball. And I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to do this again. And then Monday, they were like, yeah, so we're just gonna close down everything and nobody's gonna go anywhere. And I was like, what the fuck? So I haven't seen those girls since then. And I also haven't gone to the gym because it's been closed. So I think this year, I'm just gonna focus more on doing things at home, to kind of get myself back to more active and, just leading a more healthy lifestyle, because, I've been eating like shit all quarantine. I put on a hefty couple of pounds that I want to work off. And, it's hard to be on a diet and try to work out when you're stuck. Being in the gym environment kind of motivates me because everyone else around you is working out. So it makes you want to work out. But when you're home by yourself and nobody else is doing anything, you're not really interested in working out. So yeah, that's one of the things that I would like to do for this year.
I would agree 1000%. When quarantine first happened, I felt like, oh, this is a perfect opportunity for me to, elevate my business, for me to learn so many things, like how we were talking with Keisha before. And I felt like really motivated at that point because I'm like, I'm going to just take my life into my own hands and actually put in the work, like do what I need to do.
Right.
And I felt like at the beginning, so like in April, May, I felt like I was in such a good place in terms of like I was busy every day. I was doing things for myself. I was even like surprising to myself and like to anyone that knows me. I don't really like going to the gym. I don't really enjoy working out, anything like this. But during the first couple months of quarantine, I was working out every week. Like I was doing at home workouts. I was doing like online videos with Mueve Fish. Shout out Sophia.
Girl.
But hey, I was living my best life. I was really I guess seizing the day. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, DM over here. So right. I was doing that and I was really proud and I was really happy. But as the months went on, and especially now that we're in winter, and like literally I wake up and I get like a couple hours and then it's literally dark.
Dark as hell is.
It's so unmotivating, and it's so like I feel just dejected. I feel like I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing or what I can do, because I'm like, I don't know when I'm even going to go back into you know, doing my regular life things, right? But
right.
I feel like what I want to take into 2021 is going back into that mindset of like, seize the day, like do what you want to do it every single day. And like, I also want to work out more. Like you were saying, Shenelle, I really want to work out more. I want to, I know gyms are not open, but just because gyms are not open, I shouldn't let that stop me, you know? Like, and that's, I think, my biggest barrier. It's like, shit, like, do I wait until gyms are open again and then go ham, or do I go ham now that I can? Like, you know, it's hard. It's really hard.
That's how I am too. Like, I'm always like, oh, I'm a work out, I'm gonna lose all this weight, and no one's gonna see me. And then when they see me, they're like, shit, bitch, you look good, you lost a lot of weight. Like, you know what I mean? I always feel like that, and then I'm always like, I'll do it tomorrow. So
it's the poison, honestly. It's a poison. It's like, oh, we could do that tomorrow. Oh, we could push it till like next week or whatever the case. And it's just like, no, do it now. It's like, it's really hard. It's very hard. Like, I'm sure you feel like when you're done work, you want to just chill and cuddle in your bed and just watch something. You know?
That's literally how I feel every day.
That's what I'm saying. It's hard because you're in a groove of it. You're in a routine.
Right.
This is what I do every day. Why would I do anything different? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, and it's hard, but I think, you know, pushing yourself and having a really good support system and having, you know, those reminders every day of like, yeah, no, I can be my best person that I can be, you know, like, and it's, I think that's what 2021 should be, in terms of like, yeah, we're in a really shitty situation, and yeah, we're really, really distraught and frustrated and confused and just at a weird time of our lives, but that doesn't mean that we can't do what we want to do.
Exactly.
And pursue what we want to pursue, you know, like there's other ways around it. Other people are doing it, you know, why can't we? That's a real question. If other people are doing it, you can do it too.
Why can't I? Right. I'm always like, so another thing that I want to, you know, take into or start doing in 2021 is kind of taking care of myself in every aspect, like not just in terms of like my physical appearance and losing weight, but more like my mental health and things like that, because I realize that I neglect myself in that sense a lot. And part of the things that I do is I like to, I think Keisha mentioned it earlier, escapism. So I like to run away from the issue, the problem.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, let's hide that under here, this rug here, and continue on about my day.
You know, it's interesting. Do you think that that's a Leo characteristic? Because I have the same one.
So it could be a Leo thing, honestly.
I've heard that. Like, I saw it on Instagram recently where it was like, oh, like, I'd rather just like be alone, like just like completely detach myself. And like, I have that. I that happens to me too, believe it or not. And like, I will be the one that will be like, oh, like, let's just avoid this for now. Like, I don't want to, I don't want to talk about it right now.
Like, maybe if I don't open the chat, like, I won't have to talk about this. Oh, but like, they see me online. Oh shit. Like, I'm just gonna stay off the app completely, you know?
Can I say though, I feel like it's so important to mention this, because I feel like, and you've posted about it too on your Instagram, when you feel like mentally or like emotionally or like yourself that you can't handle something, or like you need a day or like a couple minutes or a couple hours or whatever to just be with yourself and just like not talk to anyone and just like completely detach yourself, that's also okay. Like, given the situation and like given like there's nothing urgent or whatever the case, like it's important to take that time for yourself and be like, if I need that time, it's okay. Like, take that time for yourself and like really like understand, this is how I'm feeling. How can I make myself feel better? me not answering this person will actually help me in my moment right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there are things that they're not urgent, like, and you can take the time that you want to
exactly
whatever the case, as long as it's not urgent.
Exactly.
But I think it's important.
Yeah. I mean, you know, what I noticed is I love my me time. I like being by myself. Yeah. I really do. But if you let me be by myself for too long, I won't want to do anything else. Yeah, I won't want to. I'll be like, people will invite me out. I'll be like, oh, yeah, I'll come. And then the day of, I'll be like, hey, so guys, I can't make it. You know? Right? So I've been like pushing myself to like do those things. Like, cause like when I was younger, I didn't care. Everything that happened, oh, I was going. Oh, there's a party next week? Oh, bitch, I'm there.
I'm there, right? And I feel
party like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm at all of them. And now I'm like, I'm not going to any of those things.
I think it happens. I think it happens with age too. Like when you become older, you just become a homebody. Like I'm the same way, Shenelle. When I was 20 and 19, like I would be out every single day with like different friends of mine and wanting to do something new all the time, every single day. But I think to myself, I'm like, that wasn't healthy either. Personally. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's good to have a balance of like, yeah, you can go out and enjoy yourself and be with your friends, but it's also important to take time for yourself and be at home and reflect on your life and be self-reflective and all of these things. But it's like, what, and I want to just piggyback on what you were saying. I feel like I want to proactively, do what you were saying in terms of like, I want to
like force yourself to do.
If I say I'm gonna do something, I'm not gonna cancel. I'm not gonna say I can't do it. I'm gonna do it.
Right.
You know? And so I think I've been trying to. Last year I think I was okay, like I did well, but that's something that I do want to bring into the new year as well.
Yeah.
Just maintain your commitments. I think that
exactly. That was what kind of drove me to be more present and going and more outgoing. Is like, I promised this person that I was gonna go. Like I said, you know, I was gonna do that. So my word is everything, right? And if I don't keep my word, number one, that person isn't going to ever think that I'm going to be there for them when I need them.
Or like you're reliable.
Exactly. Or like I'm reliable, right? Like not necessarily that I have to be reliable to everybody, but if I say I'm going to do something, I have to do something, you know? Right. I expect somebody to put that type of effort into like my friendships with them or my relationship, right? So I need to do exactly that too. I have to give what I expect as well. So that pushes me a lot more because I do tend to get like stuck in my own head and my own little bubble, and I want to stay there and I don't want to be more outgoing and things like that, which is so, like you were saying, like I wasn't like that when I was younger. Like everything I wanted to go to. And I think as you get older, your personality changes a little bit because, you know, being so outgoing and so friendly, like I'm an extrovert, but I'm also an introvert at the same time too. You know what I mean? So
I think it really depends. Like it also depends on how you were raised too, for instance, right? Like, at a point, like I was saying, when I was younger, I used to go out all the time and be with so many friends every single day. But I think it was because I was at home alone. Like I'm an only child on my mom's side in terms of my siblings on my dad's side are so much older, right? So like I was at home and I was like, I want to be with people. Like I'm a very personal person. I want to be around people. I want to, you know, enjoy myself.
Having company because you don't like feeling like you're alone.
But to the flip side of that, it's like I was alone for most of my life in terms of like at home I would do things by myself. So it's like I also enjoy being alone. And It's interesting. Like sometimes you can, I think the main word here is like creating a balance. Like it's okay to be both, and it's good to be both, but it's important to have that balance, because once you're on one end, like you're saying, Shenelle, sometimes you don't even want to go out at all, right?
Yeah.
And then if you're going out all the time, you're like, well, I haven't really taken care of myself, you know?
Exactly.
So it's like, I think it's the balance. And I feel like right now, being in COVID and everything, it's a little difficult because people are so alone all the time, right? They're at home all the time. So it's important to be like, you know what? I do have resources. I can go on Zoom or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think it is important for people to have.
But
it's not the same, but at least you're having some type of human connection. Like at least you're connecting with it's like somehow, you know, like
right.
So it's interesting. It's quite interesting. But that, I feel like that's a really great reflection on 2020. Like it was really hard with it being COVID and everything. But I feel like in 2021, hopefully, I'm praying that COVID ends and we're good by 2021. But
I'm praying as well. But I'm also, I don't want to lose sight of what will, like what's realistic as well.
Right.
Because as much as I want to be able to go to concerts and go hang out with my friends and go do dumb hood rat shit with my friends, there's this virus and this
it's very real
version of it. You know what I mean? So it's like I want to do these things, but I also have to be realistic. So for me, it's more of I'm trying to make time for all of my friends. Like, because most people don't just have like, oh, these are my friends and these are my friends. These are my only friends. Like I have groups of friends, right? Everybody has groups of friends. Sometimes, like, you know, a lot of times you can't mix your group of friends. You're like, because their personalities don't go together, but like I get along with them both, but together I will be annoyed because they're gonna annoy each other. So I got to keep these friends separate, and that's cool. But like now, because of everything that's going on, it's like, how do you juggle all of that, right? You only have so much time in a day, and so much time in a day to take care of yourself, work, you know, do all the things you need to do for yourself, and then also be social and then be engaged with your friends, because that's important too.
True.
So it's like, you know, what is the balance? And I think
that's the question of life.
Yeah, like what's the balance?
Like people are always asking themselves that. People like, you know, I'm fortunate for my life. Like I'm not saying that it's not a blessing. I'm fortunate. And in terms of like, I don't have children in terms of that commitment, right? Like, and I've chosen that for my life. I'm not ready for children. I've been proactive with, you know, my life so that won't happen. Right. But I feel like, and I just want to reiterate, it's not that I'm saying that it's not a blessing for people that want to.
Right. Yeah, of course.
It's just my personal, you know, choice.
At this point in your life, you're not ready, which is fine.
But then I think about it and I'm like, honestly, I'm struggling myself with my life balance. And I can only imagine in my head, I think about my family, for instance, that have several children. And I'm like, how in the world are they making it work? How are they making it work? Right? Like, and it's interesting because everyone makes it work somehow. Like nothing is impossible in my opinion. You know,
it's not impossible. I think, I don't know, like having kids and being, because like right now, a lot of parents are literally the ones that have to entertain their kids, right? The kids are used to like, oh, you know, let's go outside, oh, a play date with my friends, or let's go to the park. And you really can't do that with your kids, right? So it's like, okay, we'll go on a walk, but the kid sees the park and they want to go to the park, and you're like, oh, the park is closed, you know, or you have to like trick them, and you know, it's so much harder. And I feel like a lot of parents are also like finding themselves like, okay, let's buy these toys for these kids so that, you know, that they're preoccupied, and it's like also, you know, engaging them and giving them a break, but also it's like, I don't know, it's just so hard to figure out like a balance, especially when, you know, our world right now doesn't really allow for a balance. You know, I always feel for people who are single, like single parents at this point during this pandemic, because what is already hard for them is like
10 times
no,
harder.
yeah, it's like even more hard now, because it's like you can't trade off with your partner on some of the responsibilities. Now it's like only you and you're stuck doing everything for your kid, and it's like, bruh, I just need a break. And it's not like you can be like, oh, let me go bring you to grandma's house, because guess what, can't go nowhere, right? So and it's hard too, because kids don't really understand, like, oh, we can't go see this person right now. So honestly, shout out to all the parents.
Shout out to all the parents.
Like, you guys,
we see you.
I don't know. Yeah, I see you. I feel you. I mean, I don't know what it's like to have a kid, because I don't got no kids, but I have a lot of nieces and nephews that I helped raise. And I know it's tough, because sometimes those little kids are little bastards and you want to kill them, but you're like, oh, they're so cute. You know, like, they're like devils on one hand, and then the other side, they're like little angels. Right. So I don't know. And then all those people giving birth right now, like during the pandemic, I could not.
One of my best friends just gave birth like a couple months ago, and I'm like, God. It's such a weird experience for them, because first of all, you can't have your significant other there with you. You have to be alone until the time is like, until they're actually birthing, they can't see them. And it's like, how
that support that you have. Like, so when my best friend gave birth, I was in the room the whole time. I wasn't supposed to, but I was. And like, you need that support. Like,
wait, was this recently, Shenelle, or no? Pardon? This was before COVID.
Yeah, this was before COVID. Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, having someone there that you know cares about you and is just as excited for the situation, for everything that's going on, there with you, and to help you and be there as support, it makes it a little bit easier. So having to go it alone must be, I couldn't imagine.
It's really
tough. Imagine.
Really, really tough. I feel like shout out to all the moms. Shout out to all the people that have had kids during COVID.
During quarantine.
It's so tough. But I hope that we can go into something a little bit lighter. Just so that we can talk about maybe self-care, because I feel like it is tough for, like, even for moms, like that have had kids. Like, how do you take care of yourself? How do we make sure that we're, you know, nourishing ourselves while also being able to nourish our children, for instance? Like, me and Shenelle are not moms, but we can appreciate and know and recognize that moms, you know, it's hard to take care of yourself. And even for people that don't have children, like, I find it sometimes hard to take care of myself. I'm sure Shenelle feels the same way.
Every single day, I like struggle to wake up. My sleep schedule got all messed up over the holidays. So falling asleep at 3 a.m., having to wake up at least by 8 a.m. to start work at 8:30 a.m. So it's getting to be like, you know, and then also with being home, right? Like, I don't normally take naps throughout the day. I would love to, but I know me, I'm going to take a nap. It's not going to be enough for me. And I'm going to wake up and be tired and miserable. Yeah. And I feel like that's worse than just being tired, maintaining the tiredness that I had from earlier throughout till when I go to sleep, right?
Right.
And usually, you know, if you're working or you're commuting to work, a lot of time you get that break while you're commuting. Like, either a lot of people take naps, a lot of people read, some people meditate, you know, a lot of people kind of fit in some type of wellness during their commute. So without that commute now, you know,
I don't think that's a bad thing though. Like in terms of not having a commute, you're at home, so you're saving that amount of time.
Right.
You know,
I agree with that too.
For instance, like for me, if I had to commute, I would be stuck in a car driving for an hour and a half. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I wouldn't be able to read or to, do anything.
A lot of people read, like I listen to audiobooks, so I might not be physically reading, but I'm listening, right? So there's still some time to myself, right? Like commuting, regardless if you're driving or taking public transit, or carpooling, that's time to yourself, right? That you might not have gotten otherwise if you're home with your kids, for example, or with a partner, right?
Yeah.
So it's time specifically for yourself, right? A lot of times parents, like from experience hearing from my friends, they're like, they don't get a moment to themselves. Like even in the bathroom, their kids at the outside, like,
that's so true.
Like, what are they doing in there?
Yeah.
So I mean, I feel like to carve out time, it's one thing for us to say like, oh, just take an hour out of your day and do this or do that. When you have kids, your day, you planned it a certain way and it doesn't always pan out that way because kids are unpredictable.
True.
I mean, what I'm starting to do, which might be helpful to a lot of other people, is kind of structuring my day. So one of the things that I read recently said that, sometimes it's good to wake up like an hour to an hour and a half earlier every day, just so that you have some time for yourself. Right. So if you're that type of person that needs that, or you want time for yourself, just wake up an hour or two earlier than you would wake up your kids to get ready for school or for work or whatever, and take that time for yourself and do things that you need for yourself, like self-care. Like you could take a bath, you could take a shower, do things like that, meditate, work out, things that you want to do for yourself. Just either wake up a little bit earlier and have that schedule for yourself. And what the reading was saying is that by doing that, it also helps you structure your day a little bit better. So you're not running around gathering things. You're not rushing. You can set up your kids' homeschool so that way by the time they wake up, they eat their breakfast and they come down and they come to go do their online learning. That's all set up for them. So it's not something that you have to take time out of what you're doing or your work to get them set up, or waking up that little bit earlier, taking that time for yourself, and you can make breakfast and, do all of those little things. Have that time for yourself where it's quiet so that, you're not necessarily spending the whole day running around after people. And everybody knows it's hard to put kids to sleep when they know they don't have to go to school, right? They're not being forced to stay up all day like they do at school. And they don't have recess, like a real recess where they go outside and run around with their friends and tire themselves out. They're literally home all day. So it's hard to kind of do that at the end of the day, or take that time for yourself at the end of the day. So that's what I'm going to try to implement. I'm not a morning person, so waking up early is hard for me.
Same.
But I do it, but
I will say, like when I was talking to my life coach, shout out Sarah, love her so much. If you guys want a life coach, she's an amazing life coach. We actually set up a morning routine for me in the summertime. early summer, and it changed everything for me. Like, it was literally life changing. You really set the intention for your day. And to be honest with you, now that we're talking about that, I would love to bring that back into my life, because it literally like changes everything. Your mindset, your intentions, your goals for the day, looking towards the future too, knowing what your future goals are, etc. Like, really, really changes a lot. So I would say, if you are looking for something to really, you know, impact your life, I would say a morning routine, having those specific things in mind, really, really changes a lot. One thing I did want to ask you with regards to self-care, or rather like beauty hacks, like for self-care, like maybe like skincare hacks or like a beauty hack. What was one that you came up with, Shenelle, that you have on your mind?
Well, so actually throughout this whole like quarantine, self-isolation, all of this, I have really fallen off with my skincare. Last year I broke out. Like, I do break out, but for the most part, I don't get breakouts. Like, my skin, I do have more oily skin, so you would think I would break out more. Let's knock on some wood. I don't know, because I don't break out that much, and I'm so happy that that is what it is for me, because it could really go left. Shout out to my parents. They have more or less great skin. They don't really break out. So
genetics are amazing.
Pardon?
I said genetics are amazing.
Yeah, genetics are amazing. And so I started breaking out a little bit, and that kind of alarmed me. But again, it's a combination of things. At the time, I was, you know, work was really stressful for me. So there was that made me start not taking care of myself as much. I used to get stress migraines. So that was another thing that really, you know, wore me down. And I think a combination of all those things is what caused me to have those breakouts. So there isn't really anything that I do or that I did during that time. I just kind of did spot treatments. But skincare, regardless of how you're feeling, is really important.
Absolutely.
And I think taking those, you know, 10 to 15 minutes every morning or night or both. I mean, you should be doing it twice a day, to actually like cleanse your skin and put moisturizer on and take care of like your problem areas. That does help you feel a little bit better too, because I know that with all of this isolation and all of everything that's going on in the world today, is like everything is super, super heavy, and people are feeling more anxious, more depressed, more sad, more isolated than they normally would feel. So it's weighing on everybody in different ways and impacting everyone differently. So any little thing that you can do for yourself is really important. And for me, it was just taking the time to actually figure out, like, or not figure out, but to continue doing things that I used to do for myself.
Totally.
So
it's not losing.
I fell off on those things because I was like, I'm not going nowhere. No one's really seeing me. And then my skin started breaking out, and I was like, wait a minute. I don't like this. So I do it not as often. Like, I have a bunch of serums I use, and all these things that are good for your skin and are helping with problem areas that I have. But I really did fall off, and that did impact. So just can be consistent. That's the beauty hack today. Be consistent with your skincare. Even if you feel like crap and you don't want to do anything, you still got to get up and brush your teeth.
Yeah.
And you're still going to use the bathroom. So while you're in there, just wash your face. Right. You know, like,
Or
just
like
wash your
even
face.
if in the washroom, like when you're taking a shower, for instance, like that's why I bring my cleansers into the shower with me, because I'm like, if I'm already washing my body, might as well just wash my face and then get it over with, right? Because then after the shower, what you have to do, just put on some moisturizer, serum, whatever you use in your skincare routine, and then you're good to go, like out the door, right? That's another thing I wanted to mention. My beauty hack for skincare, or like rather like beauty skincare hack, is that, for instance, like right now everyone is like worried about their maskne and like worried about taking on too much makeup, because then your mask is gonna like move it or whatever the case, right? So if you're looking to like sheer out your foundation or have like a lighter coverage foundation, what I would suggest is using a face oil and mixing it with your foundation. That way it shears it out, and that way it's still like, you still have some coverage, but it's a lot less I guess opaque. It's a lot more fluid, and that way you can actually just shear it out and you still have some coverage, but you're still like thriving.
Exactly. I agree. So most days, like if I'm going to see my partner, or going to the grocery store, I don't necessarily put on like foundation or anything like that. I just use a tinted SPF, like a tinted moisturizer that has SPF in it, and that it gives very sheer coverage, but it also does not come off on my mask, and it doesn't look like I'm wearing makeup, so it's more of a natural kind of situation going on. Yeah, exactly. And then you get your SPF coverage as well, which is really important.
On the flip side, because I don't really like using BB or CC creams, like for me it's just not enough. That's just my personal preference, but what I do instead is I actually just use concealer. Like, so for instance today, I'm not going outside, so I'm not wearing sunscreen, but typically I would prep my skin with like a face oil or like a moisturizer, but and then I would use like the sunscreen, and then I would use foundation, concealer, but today I just used the my face oil, my rose hip face oil, and then I just put concealer. So this is all concealer, it's not foundation at all.
Same. I'm not wearing any foundation, it's just concealer. I just did dots,
which is great. It's like such a great alternative because it's so fast, right? So like you're literally just you have a face of makeup on, but it's just concealer, and that way there's not so many layers to your skin either.
Exactly.
Another thing I just wanted to mention with regards to a hack for masks is using like setting powder. I find that if you just set your face just a little, like even if it's like just a bare minimum of like of a powder, that really helps with no transferring. Because I know that a lot of people are really worried about like, oh my God, how about if you see lines or whatever? And like, honestly, if you use some really good setting powder, you're good.
Yeah. Honestly, I can honestly say, like, I set my face every time I do my makeup just because I have oily skin. So I have to set my skin, or I have to set my face. Otherwise it's going to be slick like an oil spill in the Atlantic Ocean. Like that's what it's gonna look like. So I do set my face, and I do see the makeup on my mask, but my face doesn't look like any makeup came off.
That's it.
So so my makeup stays put. I mean, I'm gonna see it on my mask. There's no way, there's no transfer proof makeup. If there is, please shout out, like comment down below, send us some PR, please. Like I would love it.
So maybe I should rephrase what I said before, because what you're saying is that your makeup is not disturbed. That's what I mean. Because it's inevitable for the mask for you to transfer onto the mask.
Because you're talking, it's moving on your face, it's gonna rub, but
it's not you're not gonna see it.
Exactly. It's not gonna change the way your makeup looks. Like you're not gonna see like a whole line around where your mask was.
Exactly.
So yeah, that is a good hack. Set your face.
Right.
If you're an oily girl, I mean, you should be, but if you're not and you do like the dewy glow, but
I would just be a little bit more careful. I would be a little bit more careful.
A little bit more careful. Maybe not go for a dewy glow that day, you know. maybe take your pictures before you wear your mask.
That's it. Take your pictures before the mask. That's it.
Exactly.
Thanks so much for continuing to listen. We hope you've had a great time so far. Please don't forget to hit that follow or subscribe button so that you can get your perfect blend each and every week. Hit us up on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, or pretty much anywhere you get your dose of podcasts. Now, let's get back to it.
I did want to talk about one thing with you, Shenelle, just because like it's brand new and I know that you probably know about it and I hope that you do. Okay. Do you know what recently launched in terms of like a new makeup brand? Or not makeup.
Are you talking about J-Lo, girl? Because I love me some J-Lo. I love J-Lo.
I'm so excited.
So I was so excited about it because number one, skin flawless. Number two, makeup flawless. So anything she puts out, I'm already 100% sold 100%. On it. If it's what she's been wearing on her face.
Mm-hmm. So I want to ask though, do you remember when she did? Sorry, my one nail broke. Do you remember when she did the collaboration with? I forget what it's called.
The MAC Viva Glam?
No, she didn't. She did a whole makeup line with it's a makeup brand that's right downtown Toronto. They have a whole store there, but I forget what they're called. They're like, it's not like a brand that you see at Sephora very often, to be honest. And I'm not sure.
It would be something like you see in like the Bay, right?
Probably. Let me see if I can search it, because I want to know whether you remember that that specific collaboration.
No, I remember she did a collab with a brand. Inglot. I just don't remember.
There you go. Inglot. When she
Inglot, yes.
Okay.
I remember it. It was like a palette, like a small palette, right?
If I'm not mistaken, she had a couple of products in that line. She did a whole release.
Really? Mm-hmm. Well, I'm excited for this because I heard there's skincare, like a whole skincare line from like top to bottom.
Yes.
And then also she has some makeup stuff too. So I'm interested.
I'm super interested as well. She, like, obviously you can see J-Lo, I'm pretty sure she's almost in her...
She's 50.
50s, yeah. She's like, she's middle-aged, right? And her skin is flawless. She was saying, she actually went on a live with Desi, I think it was last week,
Really?
Yeah, it was the day before New Year's. She did a live with Desi, and they were talking about, like, they were just like discussing her new brand and all of this, and she was like, I feel really inspired because my mom taught me everything to do with makeup and skincare, and she taught me how to really take care of my skin. And obviously her mom knows what it is, because look at her skin, look how flawless she is. But one thing that I wanted to discuss was her formula. So I'm really curious because she has an olive complex. That's what she mentioned. Yes. And it's quite interesting because typically you wouldn't use olive oil on
your face.
Yeah, because it's a little bit like it's not meant for beauty.
And it's not formulated right. But
this one is.
Yeah. So she's like very little of it. It's and it's like, I guess it has to be formulated a little bit differently in order to work on your skin.
Right.
And apparently where she has it on the ingredient list on the back, it's lower. So that means it's used in a meaningful way, which is why I like it. Which is why I'm interested in it, because
I'm super interested. I feel like she really took the time to formulate something that really works for her. And because it works for her, she's like, I'm sure it's going to work for you, you know, like.
So I don't imagine that she's been using these products for the longest time, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I'm really excited. I can't wait to see what she comes out with. From my understanding, I think she's releasing the skincare first, and then she's going into makeup afterwards. But I'm sort of, I think a lot of people, and myself included, I would be more interested in the skincare regardless, only because of like, because she's like an example of what it can be, the effects can be, you know, like
aging gracefully. That is that. Like, I definitely think she might have had like, you know, a little Botox here and there. But for the most part, like, even if she did get that work done, which I'm not someone that's gonna shame someone for getting work done, because girl, I want work done too.
Yes.
But yeah, she did it and it's tasteful. She looks like herself. Yeah, you know, a lot of people get work done and they don't look like themselves after, but she looks like herself. So it's like the true definition of maintenance.
Yes.
Like, that's what she's done. And whoever her doctor is, please refer me. I would like to go. You know, send the details, girl. Send the beauty regime. Send the girl, because I would love to try. But yeah,
for sure,
exactly. I'm also interested to see if she'll launch like beauty tools, like, you know, like a lot of people are talking about the face roller, like a cleansing like brush for your face, or like, you know, a lot of people are into dry brushing their skin. Apparently that's really good for circulation.
I've heard that.
Stuff like that, like releasing stuff from your lymph nodes, like lymphatic drainage and stuff. I'm interested.
That is a miracle. Can I just say, lymphatic drainage is a miracle. Like, if you do it properly.
So I'm interested. Exactly. So I'm so interested to see what she comes out with, because
she did mention that she was going to get tools. She did say that when she was on the live with Desi. She did mention she was working on several tools for your face, which I'm curious. I'm really curious. I think, like, I don't particularly have any. I maybe have like one or two tools for my face, but typically I feel like even with the lymphatic like nodes, you can do it yourself. Like, if you just like rub your face, like massage your face in a specific way, you could do it yourself. But it's entirely up to your preference. If you prefer having like a sterilized tool, totally cool. But there are different methods. There are different ways to do it too.
Yeah. There are different methods, there are different ways, and then there's also different products. Like for example, one person will promote, like, for example, the Clairsonic brush. That was crazy promoted, and then it came out after that it's like, it's not so great for your skin, you know? So it's like, some things are fads, like a lot of research hasn't been put into it. So it's like, I'm interested to see how it goes. There was also another beauty brand that is coming out. Do you know the Ace family on YouTube?
I do.
Austin McBroom and Catherine McBroom.
They're so pretty. They're so pretty to look at.
They are.
Their family is so cute.
Their family is so cute. So Catherine, Austin's wife, she's coming out. Right? Yeah, she's coming out with the skincare brand. But there was like something that came out as well that said it was linked to some other brand. But they were saying like, maybe, I think it was J-Lo's. But I think it was what they were doing. What they did was they copied her web layout, like the layout of her web page, and then they forgot to like correct some things, like the links, like the hyperlinks, like about. So you would click about, and it would go to JLo's beauty website. Yes. So there was like a whole thing about it. They were just like, this kind of sloppy for, you know, because it's not even like you launched the brand yet. You just said this is coming and this is the website, right? And there's this mistake already. Like, they're like kind of like foretelling of what's gonna come in terms of the product. But I'm interested to see. Catherine has great skin.
She does.
In a lot of the videos that we see of her, she isn't really wearing makeup. Unless, and then if she is, whoever does her makeup, if she does it herself, she does a great job because her skin looks flawless.
Right.
So I'm interested to see what comes of the brand.
There is one thing
I thought that was interesting.
There is one thing I want to mention with regards to that family, because I was actually, I'm really interested in them. They're really cute. Like, I really do like them. But I was interested because they did launch something else. I forget when, but they launched a drink.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I want to mention this because I thought it was very interesting. They market it like, if you've seen, like, you guys go search, before I continue talking, go search the logo, like how it looks, the drink, how it looks.
It looks like the Fanta, right?
It looks like Fanta, but it also looks like it's trying to attract like children.
Children, yeah.
Right? And so for me, if you're trying to attract children and you're trying to say, oh, these are all natural tastes, like whatever they're promoting that it's very natural and that it's natural ingredients. However, if you look at the ingredients, like the nutritional facts, you will see, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but I'm almost certain that it's over.
Is it called Silly Juice? Sorry.
Silly Juice, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely marketed
for children, right? Like and so it was really concerning because I looked at the nutritional facts and it's like 40% of your daily intake for sugar. Something like this. It's absurd.
40%?
Something like that. Let me actually get the
Oh no, it looks more like vitamin water.
Yes, but I think it's still marketed towards children. Like, it looks like that, at least.
It's definitely marketed towards,
because they have like the little tunnel and like whatever. So they advertise it. I'm reading it literally from the website right now. Made with real juice, no high fructose corn syrup, no added sugar, very low in sodium, gluten-free and GMO-free. So I look at this and then I want to look at the nutritional facts if I can, because I remember they had it on their website. But when I looked at it, I was really shocked because I was like, I wouldn't be okay with having my child or whoever drinking this. It's not healthy.
But like also, I haven't really heard that much about it, this juice. And apparently like it's expensive too. So there's been a lot of things that came out about this brand. Not that it's terrible. They're like, it tastes great, but I think they were saying like it's really expensive. It was like $4 for that small bottle. And they're like, $4 for that bottle?
Listen to this. For the orange apple, if I'm not mistaken, this is the, orange apple one. I'm looking at the nutritional facts right now. It's 150 calories for one bottle.
And it's like this small.
Yeah.
It's like the size of this.
Included added sugars. They're saying no sugars added or whatever, right? We just listened to their 62% of your daily value in included added sugars. Take this in.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That's a lot
of your daily
60%
value.
of my daily in like of what I'm supposed to take daily is in this 130 calorie drink.
Isn't that crazy?
It sounds like diabetes.
It sounds like diabetes. It sounds like I'm literally gonna have a sugar rush and I'm gonna have a sugar crash. And so for me, I look at that and I'm like, ooh, I'm not down for that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not down for endorsing any type of drink like that. But the thing is that when you have social media influencers and people that are looked up to, they're like, they don't even care probably about the nutritional facts people, right? The people are just like, oh, I want to support them because I love them, you know?
Exactly.
And it's like, you know how much damage this can cause? Like,
it's true because, you know, they appeal to a younger demographic of people, right? And they're a family channel. So a lot of times parents watch the channels as well because their kids are watching it, or a family watches the channel. And like, okay, it's one thing saying like we're advertising this drink, you know what I mean, and being upfront, honest, like this is the drink, this is what it is, you know what I mean. It does have added sugar, you know, to improve to for the flavor, you know what I mean, like to amp up the flavors. But to say that it's all natural and that there's no added sugar, and then it says like 65% of your daily recommended intake of sugar, that's insane. That's and like crazy. If you drink, if a 4-year-old drinks that kid is gonna be off the wall for the next 2 hours. Okay.
And that maybe I want to just bring it back to what we were talking about in terms of like their release, right? Their skincare release. It's like, yeah. For me, this is my personal opinion. I don't want to influence anyone in saying this, but it's my personal opinion. If I don't trust you to look into and to take care of me in terms of your drink, what makes you think that I'm going to help you with my skin, for instance, right? And it's like, I feel like people don't do their due diligence, myself included. I'm like, you know, I don't
100%.
search up every single, you know,
thing that I do. Yeah.
Skincare product. I don't, right? Just let's be realistic. I don't. Okay. But at the same time, if we do our due diligence and if we look at the ingredients, shout out Skincare by Hyram, because he does.
Yes.
He's so
I rely on Hyram.
Me 90% of the time. I love Hyram. Shout out Hyram. So, but that's the thing.
I'm busy. Anyways.
Talking about Hyram, at least he does his research and he does, you know, looks at the ingredients, looks at everything like that. And we can have an educated, you know, decision to make of what we would be okay with, right? And it's exactly. So it's interesting in that regard. So I feel like, especially with her brand, I wish her the best, but I really, really hope that she does her due diligence with regards to the ingredients, because that is concerning, to say the least.
Right. Especially, like, I feel like, so, for example, with J-Lo's brand, she said, you know, it's mostly, like, it has olive oil. We're talking about the properties of olive oil. Mm-hmm. She recognized that this product is volatile, it doesn't work with everybody, and B, it has to be used in specific quantities and in a specific way for it to for you to actually benefit from it. And she realized that, and she put that into how the product was formulated in terms of, you know, its place on the ingredient list. I'm interested to see what Catherine says about the products and what, you know, oh, this is supposed to have, you know, hyaluronic acid, and then hyaluronic acid is the last ingredient on the list. Then it's all, we're paying for filler at this point, right? And
maybe
that's the whole point
that we can mention to our audience is, like, instead of you thinking that they're saying, oh, hyaluronic acid is included, take a look at the ingredients, because the more high up it is, the more the
more of that product there is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you see that hyaluronic acid or whatever the case, squalene, whatever you want to look into in terms of your skincare, if it's all the way at the bottom, chances are it's like 0.001%.
Yeah, you're getting like a drop of it, but you're paying $50 for this product that's heavily marketed to say that it has hyaluronic acid, and it really ain't got that much. You put in filler all over your face.
Right.
So it's like, I just hope
a little bit,
you know, the integrity of the products are good. I mean, you know what? She put a effort into it. She thought it out, and you know, when you're dealing with skincare and makeup, the integrity of products is very important because, you know, number one, health and safety, and people wanting to come back and buy the stuff. It's on the table out there. Anyways, so
I want to ask, what's one makeup trend that you've been noticing that you think will go off in 2021?
Okay, so it was something that was a TikTok. Mm-hmm. And I noticed, because I'm a Jackie Aina stan. Mm-hmm. If you guys don't know, I am. If you haven't noticed on the Perfect Blend Instagram, we do post a lot of Jackie Aina there on our stories. And that's just because, you know, she's amazing. She's very informative. She's smart. She's beautiful. And she knows what she's talking about. And I learned a lot of my tips and tricks from watching her, because, you know, mm-hmm. there are a lot of Black influencers that do provide information, but not a lot of people actually teach you. Right. You know, especially when it comes to complexion products, mm-hmm. you know, eyeshadow and applying your eyeliner and your eyebrows and your lipsticks, that's all good and dandy. But when you're a darker skin complexion, trying to figure out your undertones is hard. You know, figuring out what products work with you, having someone do having someone do swatches of colors around their skin tone with different undertones is important, and Jackie does that, and that's why I stan her. Mm-hmm. So one thing I noticed that she's been doing is she's been doing like her blush, concealer and everything first, and then she does foundation on top of all of that.
Oh, interesting.
And I'm like, that looks interesting.
That's interesting.
I'm interested to try, but I feel like I'm gonna mess it up just because I don't use a lot of cream products. Like, the only cream products that I really use is my foundation and my concealer. Everything else is a powder product, like my contour, because powder products are easier to work with everybody. So contour, it's easier to work with powder products, to blend it out, mm-hmm. and also not to like go in too heavy, right? So, and also if you're not someone that needs to cover as much, mm-hmm. putting on a lot of cream products isn't really necessary. Mm-hmm. Like for me personally, I don't have that many problem areas, mm-hmm. so to cover things, I don't necessarily need to do that. But if you do, then of course, you know, do that. But yeah, so she uses, well, in the video, she uses a lot of cream products, mm-hmm. and I'm a little worried about that because I've never been good.
Have oily skin though?
Yeah, she has oily skin. So she does her normal thing, you know, setting her primer, and then she goes in with the cream products. She starts with blush, then she does her contour, and then she fills in all of the other areas
with foundation?
With her foundation. So it's like you're working backwards, but it turns out beautiful. Perfect. It still turns out beautiful. So I'm very intrigued about that. And it was something she's seen on TikTok that mm-hmm. she was like, I'm gonna try it.
And it worked? It looked nice?
Yeah, it looks great.
Interesting. I'm curious. I would be curious to try it. I wouldn't say that would be my go-to by any means, but I'm interested to try it for sure.
Exactly. I don't think it will be my go-to either, but who knows? Maybe I'll try it and I'll be like, yo, I love this shit. Like,
I think I'm willing to experiment more into like cream products, like cream blushes and cream highlighters. Cream highlighters are an interesting thing.
Yes.
I'm not so sure about cream contour. I have tried it in the past. I've used like a darker shade concealer and then just did it like that. But I'm curious. I'm just curious as to the longevity of things. I'm all about longevity. I'm like, if I put it underneath my foundation, is this going to last for however many hours I need it to last? Like, that's my question.
Exactly. Will I still have to go over it with the powder? Because right now, I do my prep, my skin prep, mm-hmm. foundation, concealer, mm-hmm. and then my contour and then blush and whatever. So because I do that all on top, I'm wondering if like once I blended everything out, if all of that's gonna kind of go away. That is my concern.
You're
like,
saying if the blush and the contour is gonna go away? Once you
like if I'm going to have to use a powder contour on top.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Right, like the amount of products. Not that using all of those products is not a good thing or you can't achieve a good look. Just for me, that's not something that I do or that I'm comfortable with. Mm-hmm. So
you're wondering if it's going to be twice as many steps.
Exactly, and more steps than is needed.
Right. I honestly, I feel you on that, because I feel often that, especially with contour, that happens in terms of if I do a cream contour, I'm like, well, I can't really see much. Like, and it's like, well, even now I don't really see much.
Right.
But regardless, like
like it's not that much, like, but I like that it's subtle though, right? And then
it depends on where your makeup too, right? It depends, because like, say for instance, so this is a perfect example. Say for instance, you just wear makeup every single day and this is just like a routine that you want to try, then sure, you need to see whether or not these cream products are going to be long lasting throughout the workday or whatever the case. And by the end of the day, are you going to see what you want to see? That is the main question. But what I'm curious about, like for me as a makeup artist, I would be curious to see if using only cream products, if how that would look like on film or on photography, you know. I'm so curious about that.
Like, that's actually pretty like a good thought, like an interesting thought, because I've never done a full liquid situation.
Like a cream situation, right?
Same. I have really everything I use aside from my my concealer and my foundation, literally everything. I don't even really use highlighter. Like any like shine you see is from blush. Like I just use a blush that has like a shimmer to it, because I don't know, like I like highlighter, but I feel like
sometimes it can look off.
Yes, sometimes it makes me look more oily, right? Because I'm an oily girl, so adding this shine is just making me look even more shiny. So I try to keep it a little bit more subtle, because I already get that natural sheen because of the oil in my skin, right? So I don't like to add more or whatever highlighter, but I feel like it would be interesting to see like all liquid products.
We should try it, and then next time we can come back.
Ooh, and tell girl, them. You know what?
Let's do it.
What else? Do I have liquid blush? I don't have a liquid blush, but I have like a creamy one that I got from Lime Crime. Ooh. So I'll try that. It's my shade. I like orange blushes because it goes with my skin tone a little bit better. So I'm gonna try that.
I'm gonna try it too. I'm curious. I'm really curious as to that technique. One thing that I noticed in terms of makeup, I think that's more of like a makeup face hack, like in terms of like the cream blushes, highlighters, concealers. What I've been noticing in terms of like eyes, a lot of, and I've been doing it myself, I haven't even realized that it's like a trend, but it's the graphic liner.
Yeah, I was like, I know what she's gonna talk about. I know she's gonna talk about the graphic liner, because
I love it. I
think you posted it the other day and I was like, bitch, good. Like, I just don't think I have the steady hand, because I feel like it's not gonna match.
Well, that's the thing. My eyes are not the same. Like one eye droops more than the other. So it's hard in terms of finding that symmetry. But I think it's such a cool look in terms of like, it's so bold. And what I've been reading in terms of like why it's a trend right now is because of the masks. what I've heard in terms of like it's
interesting.
People are wanting to be more bold,
accentuate their eyes, yeah,
because they can't on their lips, which is, I mean, I love a bold lip, don't get me wrong, but I feel like everyone loves a cut crease, or everyone loves a graphic liner. People love that exaggerated look, but I love the graphic liner. It's so pretty. I love it.
Graphic liner is beautiful. I honestly thought it was like that, and then having like the stones, the glitter stones, all came from the show Euphoria.
Oh, hell yeah.
So because of, I forgot what her name is.
I forget. I have never watched it, to be honest.
I always want to say Manny, but Manny is the Latina girl from Degrassi, not Euphoria, right? So I don't know, but
where can I watch Euphoria? I've been wanting.
So Euphoria, if you have Crave, Crave has you can purchase like. So Crave on its own is $10 a month, right. But if you purchase HBO, like the add-on, it's another $10. So it's $20, and then you get everything that HBO and HBO Max has.
HBO?
Yeah.
Oh.
Euphoria is HBO, and Euphoria is a really good show.
I've heard it's great.
It's amazing.
Have you watched it, Shenelle?
Yes, I have. It's really good. I don't think it's realistic though. Like in terms of, well, maybe it's realistic now for kids now, but when I was a teenager, we wasn't doing any of the things that they are doing. Yeah, like
a hint of what.
So Euphoria is a show. It's about this teenager named Rue. Rue is played by Zendaya.
Oh.
And she is addicted to opiates.
Oh my god.
Yes, and she's a teenager. So the story follows her and some of the kids at her school. Yeah.
I can't. Are you serious?
Yeah. So, but that's the thing. When we were in high school, those weren't things that we dealt with, right? Yeah. Because we weren't thinking about that, right? Kids our age didn't do those things, right? There was a couple that you would be like, that kid definitely does hard drugs or is gonna try hard drugs, but it wasn't to that, or like we didn't know that person personally, and I didn't have that experience.
Right.
But now that we're older, more kids are more depressed, more kids have more psychological impairments. So they turn to drugs, and a lot of kids, I don't know if you've seen it, but there was like a commercial on like Canadian TV like a while ago that said like kids are getting into their parents' medicine cabinets. So like, or their grandparents, right? So like they'd be prescribed like codeine or Percocet for like pain management because they're older, they have some pre-existing condition that requires them to take it, and now these kids are starting to take those medications.
So sad.
Right? But that's how it starts for younger people, right? So with that being said, it makes sense that this is a storyline. Because,
and you know what,
storyline, because
that's true.
That's what's happening now. That's
not only that, in the States, I feel like they do have an opiate crisis in the States.
Oh, 100%,
for sure,
100%. There's a documentary on Netflix. I forgot the name of it, but girl, anybody who hasn't seen it, you guys need to go watch it. It talks about how the opioid crisis began in the United States, and it started from the pharmacy, like big pharma companies. They're the ones who kind of pushed it. They paid doctors to refer people, so doctors would make more money if they would prescribe you an opioid. So it incentivized them, and they would get like incentives to refer it. And then some doctors like branched out and like started a practice, and all they would do, they called themselves pain clinics, and all they would do is like write prescriptions for opioids. They wouldn't even really do like an assessment. You would get there and they'd be like, okay, so what do you want, and like write your prescription for that. And then they were getting paid by big pharma to do that, right? So a lot of those doctors got arrested and charged. One of the big pharmacy companies, I think their name was Purdue. They got charged. Mm-hmm. They got charged and they got shut down, and a whole bunch of shit happened. So it's a good documentary, watch it. But back to Euphoria. So it follows Rue, who is addicted to opioids, and then she has a couple of friends. One friend is like figuring out like if she wants to be like, well, she wasn't really popular or whatever, and then she realizes like, oh, people are attracted to me, like I'm gonna be more bold and things like that. So she has like her own little story. Then her name is Maddie. Maddie is the one that did the graphic liner and all the glitter and stuff. She's dating some jock and they had some like domestic things. So that's a storyline. And then there's a transgender girl in the show. So they talk about that too.
I feel like it's a very
it's a really heavy show.
Yeah.
Good. Like
on a lot of like real life issues.
Topics. Yeah, and issues. Yeah.
That's cool,
so it's a really good show. There's only one season, but
really,
there's only one season, 10 episodes, and I think so. Like the show is produced and everything, and Drake has a part in producing it as well.
What?
Yeah, I don't know if you follow him on Instagram. Like anytime there's something that comes up about the show, he'll like post about it. Like he'll promote it as well.
Does he have a stake? So he has a stake in the production?
Yeah, he does. He like credited as a producer.
Oh,
yeah. Like if you watch to the end credits, he's credited as a producer in the show. Him and his DJ Future, he's credited as well. Not Future. There's Future the Prince, which is Drake's DJ that like follows him and like on all his tours. He's the guy that does all the music, like the DJing. And then there's Future the rapper.
Okay, because I was like, what?
Yeah, no.
I was like, have I been asleep under a rock? What's going on?
You're like, wait, what? Since when is Future a DJ? No.
Oh my goodness. That wouldn't be very good. I would think Future just needs to be a rapper.
Yeah, no. He needs to stick to just rapping about toxic nigga shit. He's toxic. Girl, how you have all these baby mamas and then you impregnate a girl, then go on rants about it on Instagram, like, that's not my kid, blah, blah, blah. This is why you can't make an ugly girl feel pretty. By the way, she's pretty.
So disrespectful.
Right? But she's pretty. She is pretty. And then it came to find out that he is the father of the kid and he stopped talking. But then he was extra petty and he went on his Instagram and posted on Mother's Day all his baby moms except for her.
How many does he have?
I don't know, like 7 or something like that. He has a lot of kids. And then now, so they're fighting in court because she's like, nah, since you want to be such an asshole, like, I'm taking you for child support, right? And also because he's an entertainer, he got to pay a certain percentage, right? Because that kid is entitled to a certain amount of money that he makes, right? So he's like, they're taking him to court, and this man had the nerve to say he does not know how much money he makes. He says he doesn't know how much money he makes. The house that he lives in isn't his. He rents it, and he doesn't know how much it costs for rent a month.
BS.
Right? So they were like,
wow,
now they're like,
a shit person.
Right? And now they're like subpoenaing his financial records to find out actually how much he makes.
Now he's gonna get even more screwed. You tried to screw someone, now the system's gonna screw you.
But like the thing is, if you really want to avoid this, wear condoms or get a vasectomy. They're reversible. Get a vasectomy.
Right. Exactly.
You don't want to be spreading kids all over those 50 states, wear a condom.
Right. Protect yourself.
Get a vasectomy.
Right. Protect you and your money if that's really
lock it down until, if you can't wear a condom, you need to get a vasectomy until you are ready to actually settle down, and then get it reversed so you can have your kids with that one person. Don't go around having kids with everybody or sleeping with everybody and then getting mad that they got pregnant. Like, what do you think happens?
What do you think happens? Exactly.
Hello, this isn't your first rodeo. You had kids before this one and after that kid. Like, come on, Novadius, get it together. Get it
together. Preach, Shenelle, preach.
No, but for real, like, there are people in this world who just can go around having kids, not caring about the repercussions that or what happens to that kid or to the person that had the kid, not necessarily caring for them financially. And, you know, this kid is now brought into this world and has, you know, doesn't have the best quality of life, and it's all because you didn't want to wear a condom.
Right.
Really?
All of this is just equating to selfishness.
Yeah, you're just selfish.
Yes.
You chose not to wear a condom.
You know what? Actually, that's one of Future's songs, eh? Selfish.
Yeah, the one with Rihanna. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good song though.
And I like the song too. Great song. But he's selfish as fuck.
He needs to check himself for sure.
Selfish. The fact that he was extra and like was petty and posted all the baby mama pictures.
Karma's a bitch. Karma's a fucking bitch. When you try and screw people over like that, what do you think is gonna happen?
But also his social media is covered in him. Oh, if I didn't buy her an AP, she ain't mine. She belonged to the streets. You buying people watches, not just watches, AP watches. I don't know what the hell AP means, but I seen the watch and it's encrusted in diamonds, okay? So there's that. Then there's pictures of you holding stacks of money to your ear like it's a phone.
Give me a break.
Then there's pictures of you wearing Gucci, Louis, all of these things. Then there's pictures of you in all these different types of cars that are very expensive. Then they got you on private jets. So really, even if you rented all of that stuff, it all costs something.
Something, right. Yeah, honestly, I don't even, it's not surprising, to be honest. It's not surprising. And it's just like, I feel like these women just need to, you know, take that into consideration before they, you know, be involved with someone like that.
Right. Like, there is a possibility that this man is not going to want to take care of his kid. Like, that's a thought that should be rolling through your head.
Not only that, look at Sierra's child with him. Like, Sierra takes care of her child, and he's now remarried. God bless her. But she takes care of her own, and if that's not any indication of what type of father he is, I'm sorry. Like, you know? It's just it's putting two and two together. Let's dot the lines.
And the thing is, he loved Sierra. He proposed to marry her.
Did he really?
Okay? And they were they were together, and then he proposed to get married. She was pregnant at the time. He proposed to marry her, and then he cheated, and she broke up with him, and he was so upset about that. Like, obviously he loved her. He hasn't proposed to marry no other person.
But then why did you cheat? That's the question, right? And
yeah.
This is like,
and then he was so mad. He, like, a lot of the songs he's made are about Sierra.
That makes sense.
And Sierra's just like, nope, I'm done.
I'm done.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Absolutely.
And she lets their son's name is Future.
Right.
They let him see him whenever he has the availability and whatever. That's not a problem. But, you know, she got it together and said, you know what? I want this.
Yeah.
But again, like, if you're gonna, like, number one, unless, like, if, like, personally, I don't need to be married or whatever to have a kid, right? But, or to want to have a kid. Let's say this girl wanted to, she was like, oh my God, she's a groupie kind of girl. And she's like, oh my God, I want to see Future. And then she meets him and then she sleeps with him. Girl, it's your responsibility to take the precautions to not put a situation where, you know, you could be a single mother. We all know who Future is. So if you're sleeping with him, you have to understand that there's, number one, he ain't taking no precautions. He don't give a fuck. He does not care. So it's on you now. So if you get pregnant and then he treats you like shit, it's like, well, you knew that he was going to treat you like shit.
Right.
Like, you knew that there was a 50% chance that he would treat you like shit.
Exactly.
You knew. Because we all knew.
Right. Exactly. If everyone knew, then you're just ignorant. You're just playing naive.
Exactly. You knew and chose to do what you did. So, not saying that people deserve to be treated like single mothers, but, or to be single mothers, but if you put yourself in a situation knowing that that is a big possibility, then it is what it is. I mean, good on her, that baby mom for taking him to court and getting all of the things that she needs to get. But girl, everybody just needs to be like, we ain't sleeping with Future unless we're on birth control or have an IUD or something going on. Because
don't sleep with him, period. He doesn't deserve it.
I mean, but think about it. Look, think about it. Okay? Think about it. If he's gotten all of these people pregnant, he might not be so clean himself, you know? Right. STDs are a thing. They're real. So, I mean, yeah, no. No. I would. But again, everybody doesn't think like us, so.
Right. And that's true.
Yeah.
Not everyone thinks like us.
Exactly. So.
My eyelash is literally popping off. 1 second, Shenelle. Just 1 second.
Which lashes are these?
Serenity lashes.
Oh, what style? Those ones are cute.
Thank you. They're, my goodness. Oh. Okay, let's do it like that. Quick time. These are Duchess.
Ooh, okay. So there's a bunch of them that I'm gonna buy. Like, I do a haul every so often. Also, if you guys would like us to do like little videos of our hauls, like any makeup or beauty or skincare hauls, like, just let us know in the comments. We do read them. Let us know in the comments and we will do them on our Instagram page, like a IGTV type stitch or a reel. We'll be happy to do that because I do it anyways on my Snapchat, which I will let you, I will link it if you guys are interested in seeing my Snapchat. Sometimes it's nothing interesting at all, just me being stupid or stuff that I'm interested in and watching. But yeah, Serenity Lashes always has a sale or something going on, and I just love their lashes. I'm not wearing any lashes today, but if I was, it would be Serenity Lashes. Yeah.
Shout out Serenity Lashes.
Shout out Serenity Lashes.
If you would need a discount for Serenity Lashes, I do have a promo code, Sara LMUA, at checkout. Holla at your girl. But I think we can wrap up now.
Yes.
We are probably way over time.
That's fine. I mean, this episode was kind of just like a catch up after the holidays anyways. But guys, that's the end of our show. Don't forget to check us out on YouTube, Spotify, and Instagram. I'm looking to add our episodes to SoundCloud. So yeah, so that way, if you don't have a subscription to Spotify, you would still be able to listen to the podcast. So look out for that. We will do a post about that. Yes. So look out for that. But
we are going to have a lot of new guests coming up as well. we're very excited to be talking to a lot of our industry experts and, you know, people that are just, you know, entrepreneurs, like-minded individuals. So we're very, very excited about that too.
Right. Just like our peers, right? People we know and people who we wanted to collab with and have on our show. So stay tuned for that. There will be announcements coming up on our social, which is Instagram. So stay tuned for that. And be cute, be you, and stay blended.
All right. Bye, you guys.
Bye.